Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I have a lot to update you guys on today regarding the Eli Lilly Zepbound shortage saga, compound tirzepatide issues that have been going on over the past couple of weeks. So I have a lot to cover in this video, so let's go ahead and jump right on into it. We have some breaking news that just came out yesterday, first reported by On the Pen, by David, which is awesome. His video is so good. Definitely go check that out if you want some more context about what I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. But if you have not been keeping up with this major issue, essentially Eli Lilly reported back on August 2nd to the FDA that all doses of Mounjaro and Zepbound were commercially available, meaning they are reporting to the FDA that there is no longer a shortage on the branded medication pens. This shocked a lot of people, scared a lot of people, and since then, all of this stuff just keeps piling on top of it, and it has resulted in a lot of fear mongering, a lot of anxiety regarding compounded medicines and if they're going to get stopped or halted anytime soon. And so I'm hoping to clear a little bit of that up today and ease your mind with some of the stuff that's come out since then. So that's the first thing that happened. And then about a week later, Eli Lilly had their conference call with investors and shareholders where they released the vials, meaning they decided that they were going to start releasing the 2.5 and the 5 milligram dosages in vial form. It would be a single use vial, meaning you would get 4 teeny tiny little vials to use over the course of a month, which in most people's minds is sort of a way that they are preventing you from splitting doses or using smaller doses or whatever by making them still a single use vial. So again, after that announcement was made, so many scared, anxious people don't know what to do. They're going to stop compounding. I'm scared. I just started. What am I going to do? I can't afford the brand. A lot of stuff going on. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about what's been going on. The first thing that we started seeing a couple of days after the announcement of the vial started going out is essentially Eli Lilly deciding to be big bullies. And they started sending out cease and desist letters to various telehealth companies, a couple of pharmacies, mostly telehealth companies, essentially telling them that they have to cease and desist the sale and promotion of compounded tirzepatide since they have reported to the FDA that all doses are available. Now, not everywhere has gotten these cease and desist letters. I will put a copy of it right here, and I will leave it on there for a while so hopefully you can read what was written. I kind of put it off to the side right here. So essentially they released this letter and they told people that they needed to provide acknowledgement of the letter by August 16th, that they are going to be stopping. So this scared a lot of people, right? But essentially, again, it's a scare tactic. The compounded tirzepatide, when you look it up on the FDA, is still today, as of me filming this video, listed as in shortage. And it looks like, according to some more updates, we have some information. The FDA actually finally spoke out on this issue. So we have some more information to talk about here, but it doesn't look like it's going to be removed, today or tomorrow or the next day. Could it be? I guess maybe if, but as of right now, it is still on the shortage list. So all they are doing with these cease and desist letters is politely asking them to stop. That's all they're doing. There's no legal hold that they have on it. They are going through Kirkland to send out these cease and desist letters. So they've been working overtime. And from some stuff that I've been seeing on Reddit, they actually have contacted a lot of smaller mom and pop med spas and telehealth companies that should not even be on their radar. However, they are having the folks at Eli Lilly and the folks at Kirkland are working overtime trying to get these cease and desist letters out, essentially trying to scare people to stop prescribing compounded tirzepatide before the actual drug comes off the shortage, so that when it does, the compounding pharmacies can be like, oh, well, we haven't been getting as many prescriptions, so maybe they are able to find the injections. It's all a tactic. And again, some bullying going on to these smaller med spas and telehealth companies. Now, there is a email, which again, I'm going to put right here so that you guys can read it, going around on Reddit where somebody specifically emailed one of the pharmacies, this one in particular, emailed Red Rock, and an actual pharmacist actually responded to their email. So the pharmacist's name is Melissa Moulton. So she responded back and she essentially said the same thing that we kind of already know, but it is providing a little bit of reinforcement and a little bit of comfort and a little bit of easing of the anxiety, knowing that an actual pharmacist from this actual pharmacy is also saying the drug's still in shortage. We're not stopping making these medications. We're going to keep going with it, and they can't scare us, essentially. She did say in that email that the 10, 12 and a half, and 15 milligram dosages, they are not even able, Red Rock Pharmacy is not able to order from their supplier. And so in order, like I have said a couple of times before, in order for them to fully remove tirzepatide from the FDA shortage list, in order for like it to come off the master regulators list, they have to be able to prove that they can fill all of the back orders that have been piling up over the past, 6 to 8 months and keep up with new orders. And while that will, I'm certain, happen at some point, it doesn't look like it's happening right now. What we have going on right now is Eli Lilly being a little bit of a bully, a little bit of a high school bully, saying, hey, you can't do that. You're just not allowed to do that. You need to stop. And there are some telehealth companies that I've seen floating around on Reddit. People will say, my telehealth company stopped. They, don't even offer the compounded tirzepatide as an option. So are they, if you're this little mom and pop hometown telehealth med spa provider and you get this cease and desist letter from Eli Lilly, the largest pharmaceutical company in the world, that would scare me. I'd be like, yes, sir, whatever you say, So it is probably working for a lot of the smaller ones, the ones that don't have the funds to fight them, and the ones that just want to stay out of the whole issue. And so there are some that are listening. However, it is not mandatory right now to do so. So I actually reached out to Orderly Meds and asked them. I actually made a post in their Facebook group, and I emailed Chris Spears, who is sort of like their liaison over a lot of their customer service things. And now I will say that I've not gotten a response from Chris. If I basically just asked them if they got the cease and desist letter and what this means for their company going forward. So I've not received a response from Chris, and it's been several days. And I also have not, my post wasn't even approved. It actually says it's still pending. So it's still sitting there in their little approval inbox to approve to be posted on the page. However, they did post on there was a thread going around within that group talking about how the shortage is almost over and how we're not going to be able to get our medicines. And a representative from Orderly did go on there and basically more or less said, we're not stopping. We're not letting the big guys scare us. We're not letting the bullies win, and kind of made that comment. So to me, that says they're aware of all the issues. They may, they have not confirmed that they received a cease and desist letter, but essentially we're aware of these issues. We're not going to let the bullies win. We're going to keep going business as usual until the law tells us that we can't. And that's the whole thing. I know a lot of people, and I know even I, in my last video, was talking about how I do think that Eli Lilly has come up with this amazing drug and that they deserve the recognition and the earnings and all of that from it. And I still think that. I don't think that they deserve the profit that they're getting off of each injection, but I do think that they deserve to, profit off of the discovery that their scientists made. I don't think that there's anybody in this country or in this world that would think that they don't deserve some of what they're earning, right? They did make this life-changing discovery. However, what they're doing right now that looks bad on them is that they are trying to prevent a lot of people who otherwise wouldn't be able to access this life-saving discovery. They're trying to prevent them from getting it. And that, in my opinion, and in the opinion of a lot of others, does not look good on them as wanting to be a future forward, life-saving company that is helping all of these people and wants to save the world and to cure obesity and all of the things. That's not how they're looking right now when they're trying to shut down the only way, whether it be because of affordability or because of availability, they're trying to shut down the access that millions of Americans have been able to get because of compounded medicines. And so I think that looks a little bit bad on Eli Lilly, and I think the cease and desist letters are making them look even more greedy and even worse than they already are. Now, yesterday I mentioned that David Knapp over on the Pen released a video talking about this Bloomberg article and how the FDA has officially responded. This is the first time that we have seen any FDA spokesperson or anybody from the FDA come out and talk about the issue and respond to any comments regarding it. I will link that Bloomberg article down below. However, I will say that you have to sign up for an account and be like a paying subscriber to view it, which is a little unfortunate. I'm not a paying subscriber, so I ended up listening to Dave's whole video so that I could see like what the gist of it was. But essentially a spokesperson from the FDA came out and said that in order to basically verifying what we all already knew to be true. So essentially coming out and saying the medicine is still, tirzepatide is still listed as in shortage. And in order to clear that shortage, there is a lot more criteria that needs to be met. They need to be able to fill out the back orders. We don't just clear them because they said they're cleared. And so while this wasn't any like bright new information that this FDA representative was sharing, it did solidify and verify what a lot of different articles and content creators and whatever are saying, in the fact that it's not over. There's just so much fear mongering going on right now, and nobody knows how it's going to unfold, and nobody knows, exactly how long it will be on the shortage. It won't be on the shortage. Even Eli Lilly themselves has come out and said that they expect another shortage before the end of 2024 and into 2025. So I think that I've been saying this for a couple of weeks, but everybody needs to take a couple of deep breaths and really think about this logically. For me personally, how am I handling this, right? Like, what is my plan? Because I do think that it is important to have a plan going forward. If compound tirzepatide does for some reason stop within the next month or two, I do think it's important to have a plan. You got to think ahead. We can't just bury our heads in the sand and think that it's going to be around forever, because I don't think that, and that's not what I'm saying. I do think that it's safe for the time being. And I think that if you look at what the Hollandale people have said, if you look at what the Red Rock people have said, it's all sort of coming together. Another thing that there was a comment again on the Orderly Meds, that same thread, talking about what their plan is. So essentially what they have been told, and I don't know, I've not seen this reported anywhere else, but this is like, again, one of the official representatives of Orderly sharing this information with her tribe of people. And what she has said is that their plan initially, what they're thinking about doing, is actually just switching over all of their pharmacies to 503B pharmacies, because they said that if they do officially receive the termination notice from the FDA, that 503A pharmacies have 2 months to stop, and 503B pharmacies have 2 years to stop. Now, I don't know how true that is. That's just a comment she made on that thread, but I thought that was interesting. So their initial plan was, we're going to switch over to 503B pharmacies. Now, back to what my plan is, right? So what I'm doing right now is I am checking in and ordering new vials as often as Orderly will allow me to. So with Orderly, you are allowed to, I believe, 10 days prior to your next check-in. Correct me if I'm wrong, any Orderly people. I've actually also heard it say that as soon as the option is there on the website for you to, that you're able to, like as soon as the check-in option pops up on your account, then you can do that. So right now for me, I get my medicine from Red Rock. So there's a 90-day bud date on it. So I have, today's actually shot day, today's Thursday. So I have a dose in the refrigerator in a vial. I have an entire whole nother vial. And then I have another vial that I've ordered and is on the way. I got notice this morning that it was with the pharmacy. So I will have 2 full vials to go with for now. And again, I'm just going to keep checking in as often as it allows me to, just while also kind of monitoring the dates and not going past the bud dates. But right now with 2 vials, that shouldn't be an issue. So I think that I will not keep any more than 3 in the refrigerator at one time with the 90-day bud date, because, you know, 1 a month, girl math, easy peasy. You shouldn't have an issue with that. But even if I do end up having to use some slightly after the bud date, I'm okay with that. I think the problem is that it just becomes a little bit less effective and a little bit more likely to develop, like break down and develop bacteria. But I don't know. I think that if you're using good common sense, cleaning your vial before you draw from it every time, storing it in a container that's not just your refrigerator. So I'll put mine all in a Tupperware container. It's all in that Tupperware container in the refrigerator so that it's not getting the refrigerator air or whatever. And then I still, you know, wipe off my vial every time, wipe off my injection site every time, you know, all of that. Don't put needles in there twice, all of the things that you're supposed to do. I think that, you know, your risk is pretty low. So that's kind of the update that I wanted to give you guys. Also, there was one more thing. I'm looking at my notes and I'm like, oh, I didn't say that. So in that email from Red Rock, I mentioned that she was not able to get 10, 12 and a half, or 15 from her suppliers. And she did list a link where you can go and report. And that's actually a different link, like a form, than I've seen going around, like just to report the shortages. But a big part of making sure that we keep the FDA list up to date and as accurate as possible regarding tirzepatide, a big issue is that we need to be reporting the shortage. That's a new hashtag that I've seen going around, hashtag report the shortage, because the FDA is relying on us to some extent, on the public, to report the shortages and report in what areas you're in that you're not able to find your medication, because they are looking at that data. And I think that the most recent information from the FDA spokesperson speaks to that they are taking into account every single thing before they release it. I would hope that the FDA is on the side of the American people, and that the American people speaking will help, you know, use your voice. And so a good way to do that is to go on the FDA website and report the shortage. If you're having trouble finding anything in your area, even if you call a pharmacy and say, hey, are you able to get this in stock? And they say no, go report the shortage, okay? So that's my update for today. I hope that you enjoyed it. This is a little bit of a bonus video. I still will have my normal update like on me tomorrow on Friday for you guys, so stay tuned for that. And I'm actually gonna record the little portion for that right now. So stay tuned for that video, and I will see you guys then. Have a great day, guys. Take a deep breath. We're okay. We will get through this. It will be fine. Have a great day, guys. Bye.